SkyDream here. Some of you may know me from my Twitter, where I've been releasing plenty of voice acting samples and stuff like that, just to get, my feet wet in the industry, if that makes sense. And, well, during these interesting times, if that's what we're gonna call it, everyone's been stuck at home. And, well, I'm no different. I've been staying at home, and I've been, doing my part to help as best I can. That said, I figured, why not do something new? So I made a YouTube channel for myself. And I decided I'm going to be playing some games where I can do a bit of voice acting to keep myself, ready, I guess, for when this all ends and I can actually do a thing. And to just provide just to, have something fun to watch and have something fun for you guys and for myself as well. Anyways, today we're going to be playing Heroes Rising, the Prodegy. Now, I know nothing about this game, aside from that it is text-based, and it has characters and choices and stats and achievements. And I'm definitely not just reading that off of right here. But, yeah, this video is going to be pretty long. It's going to be more or less unedited, unless I have to use the restroom. That said, sit back, relax, and let's start. Heroes Rise. The Prodegy. There we go. Part 1. Legend has it. Chapter 1. Homeward Bound. A helicopter blade slices the air inches away from your face, filling your nostrils with the smell of burning metal. You don't have time to process this, however, as a ball of flame unfurls in your direction. You will leap onto a neighboring rooftop and tumble around a smoldering chunk of engine. Alright, so like a helicopter exploded? Okay. Alright, that's a way to start a story. Today was supposed to be your day off, but when you saw a news chopper careening out of control above the city, you couldn't just stand by like a common pedestrian. As you pull clear out of wreckage, you see that the ejected pilot fly high above the rooftops from a parachute. One thing that's crawling with licks of flame. One thing that is crawling with licks of flame. Oopsies. It won't be long before the parachute burns and the pilot drops hundreds of stories to his death. How am I going to save him? So am I already a hero then? Show my stats. I have stats. Whoa. Okay, so I'm not famous, or maybe I am, and just not very much. So I have to choose between these things. I have $2,000. Damn, I'm more rich than I am in real life. Okay, so you can be lawless. I thought it was supposed to be a hero. So can I just be like a hero, but like the worst person? I'll worry about that later, I guess. How am I gonna save him? Rip up the cables that run along the rooftop and use that to lasso him down. Use the zip cord from my wrist holster to reel in the pilot. He's not a pirate. Forget the pilot, he'll be able to steer himself onto one of the rooftops. It's much more important to save the burning wreath. Oh. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, so that probably has stuff to do with the stats before. I'm gonna see if this affects it at all. Okay, so we're already thrown into a moral choice, and anybody who knows me in real life knows that I may or may not suck at these. Okay, so if I just leave the pilot, he has a much higher chance of dying than the people below, and that's a lot more people. And I don't want all of them to die. You spin around and see the severed tail of the helicopter teetering on the edge. You rush back across the rooftop and stop it from falling, completely forgetting about the oh no. As you... Yikes, did I just die? Oh no, I'm good. Did that... No, none of my stats. Okay. Oopsies, did not mean to click that. As your vision fades to black, you remove the virtual okay. As you remove the virtual reality helmet and end your 3D gaming experience, you blink several times to adjust to the sunlight in the room, which pours in through the sleek glass windows. Then you look across the conference table at the buttoned-up executive eyeing you. I'm sorry for messing up a bunch of words, guys. So what do you think? They really ramped up the graphics, right? That was a female. She blurts out. Oh, don't spoil the surprise. Take the game home for yourself and do a full report. You can collect your advance from the front desk on your way out. Thanks as always, your virtual reality's best game tester. But this executive still doesn't know your name. You force a smile and then reminder that your name is Kyle, Gino, Stefan, Shane, Ariela, Morgan, Ariel, Julia, Chelsea, Sam. Now, I could just use my own name, just, name myself my real name. But, I mean, I could just, call myself Gino. Big man Gino, just vibing. But... Or Sam, because that's, gender neutral. You know what, we're gonna be Sam for this adventure. Right, Sam. Always a pleasure. By the way, I should mention, I may be a amateur voice actor. My female voices are not very good. I'm sorry. The executive then strides out the door, no doubt on her way to a more important meeting. So you walk towards the front desk above, thinking that you'd much rather be out there saving real helicopter crash... Why can I not speak? Real helicopter crashes than testing fake ones. But hey, at least it pays the bills. Though not very well, you'd think, as you accept the deposit for $100 at the front desk. Adding this amount to your bank account leaves you at a grand total of $2,100. Not exactly rolling in dough, are you? You push through all the money. Okay, I am genuinely sorry for all these mistakes I'm having while speaking. You push through all thought. Okay. Okay, we're gonna restart. We're gonna do this. We got this. You push all thoughts of money from your mind as you exit into the bustling streets of Millennia City, nestled on America's west coast between Los Angeles and San Francisco. Millennia City is the shining beacon of 20. I'm slow today. Millennia City is the shining beacon of 22nd century progress, not to mention the city you've called home your entire life. You step into the crowd next to a woman whose skin is covered in fishy scales, each one reflecting a different color. Is this like My Hero? You suppose this might surprise some people, but not you. New York City has finance, and LA has entertainment, and DC has politics, but MC has heroes. Are we the only city with heroes? It's the power capital of the country, a fact you're reminded of as a sonic boom pulses through the air. You look up to see twin blondes rocketing across the sky, a cloud of smoke left in their wake. You sigh, knowing that you belong up there with such legends, instead of down here with the masses. These days, 1 of every 3 people is born with powered abilities, pretty much making every one of them want to be a hero. Especially now that powered heroes have eclipsed movie stars and music icons to set the standard for A-list celebrities. You'd also love to be flying home right now, considering that you have the power to fly. Oh, I do. However, after one too many gruesome mid-air collisions, the Department for the Regulation of Powered Resources, DERPR, designed the skies for government-licensed travelers only. So flying is off limits for you, but you won't let that stop you, will you? Absolutely, heroes are meant to enforce the law, not break it. Of course not. I was born to fly, no matter what the law says. Okay. So it's like, okay, I'm a vigilante, I do things outside of the law. Or I'm virtuous and I obey the laws no matter what they say. I don't know why I'm speaking in this voice for a virtuous man, but whatever. Well, I want to see how this affects my stats. I was born to fly, or heroes are meant to enforce the law, not break it? Well, the law isn't always right. I'm gonna fly, why not? Let's have some fun. Why on earth would you take the metro away when you could... Actually, hang on, before all that, did that mess with my stats at all? Ooh, we're lawless, boys, we're lawless. I don't want to be a bad guy, but... might be fun. Well, we'll see when the actual moral choices start pouring in. Why on earth would you take the metro away when you can be careening through the air, cutting your trip into a fraction of the time? Sure, the cost of transportation has grown insanely cheap since the fusion plant was constructed and the economist Maria Prisco calculated the cure for inflammation. Inflation. But that doesn't stop the Metroway from taking forever during rush hour. Even though it would be very bad to get caught flying illegally, you've been soaring around MC ever since you could crawl fly. Alright, crawl flying is a thing. So you know all the best routes and keep yourself hidden from view. Stepping into a deserted alley, you leap into the air, tense your muscles to kickstart your flight powers. Most people think flying feels like floating, but you know, it feels more like swimming. It takes a lot of muscle control and endurance. Luckily, you've been training for years, the way a runner trains for a marathon, so that you can fly without much trouble. You pull yourself upward, feeling the gravity work with you instead of against you. Keeping close cover of the rooftops, you begin to weave your way home, cruising and clearing out... cruising in and out of clearings with missile precision. And when a helicopter buzzes its way in the sky above you, you can't help but smile. Ah, it's not that bad, we're just flying a bit. Ooh, a new choice. You drop down to the street as you enter your neighborhood. MC's Easter Fringes, which consists of mostly public housing projects, pawn shops, and liquor marts. Despite its lack of charm, the Fringes are still home, so you can relax as you approach your apartment building. A loud crunch of glass snaps your senses to attention. Half a block up, you spot a body that has been thrown against the windshield of a car. A teenage boy with writhing snakes coiled around his outstretched arms stands on a sidewalk nearby. Before you can even blink, the body in the windshield leaps to the sky. It's another teenage boy whose woolly knees bend backwards, like a goat's. Slugger, you curse to yourself. Another animal gang fight. The eastern fringes are home to a large portion of the animalistic powered population, widely known to have the most interspecies tension. There is an especially fierce feud between two local anti-gangs, the Cloven and the Scales. This a gang war? I thought it was about to be a superhero. I sounded like a 4-year-old then, but we'll roll with it. As the Goat Boy bounds through the air and Snake Boy reacts, his arms snakes surge forward, straightening their impossibly long bodies and clamping onto I'm sorry. clamping onto Goat Boy's thighs with their teeth. Snake Boy then whips his arms back, using their snakes as leverage to smash Goat Boy into the pavement. Damn! Knowing Goat Boy won't be able to survive much more of a snake thrashing, you run towards the scene and jump into the fray, striking hard and fast, hang back and contain the situation. Nah, we getting in there. I'm making sure nobody gets hurt. You're on Snake Boy so fast he doesn't even see you coming. In addition to your flight powers, you also have the ability to generate wield surges of energy. Is that supposed to say wild? Yeah. Wield surges of energy. Which power do you want to utilize here? Okay, so I already lost 2 of my power. I checked earlier. When I flew. So, I mean, I don't want to use my power because then I feel like I'd be hurting him a little too more. Oh my god, I can't speak. I'm sorry. I don't want to use my power too much because I feel like I'd be, hurting him and just using my power kind of haphazardly. But I don't need to use my powers. I can... Running at full speed, you tackle... Hey, look, I knock him out. You jump to tackle Snake Boy. Before he can defend himself, you shoulder check Snake Boy and knock him into a nearby wall. Wada have an accent? That's whatever. With Snake Boy diverted, you turn your attention back to Goat Boy. He's already bounding up the street, bleeding curses as he flees, which is just as well. Your only goal here was to stop the teens from killing each other, since getting involved was technically an illegal act of vigilantism. But before any powered individuals can start a career as a professional hero, he or she must apply for a powered hero license. This is My Hero Academia. To lessen the number of applicants, the Derber has made sure the process is rather lengthy and expensive. I don't have money. You've completed all the paperwork and passed the power competency test. Whoopsies. But you've been saving up for a while to pay for the hefty application fee. So with Goat Boy gone and Snake Boy neutralized, it's time you leave before you get into any unnecessary trouble. They were at it for almost 5 minutes and no one did a thing. You turn around and find a mother and her young daughter standing on the sidewalk, both looking relieved. The mother presses a tissue to the little girl's bleeding forehead against a small cut. They were blocking the door to our building. We tried to run inside and go hide with some debris. These anti-gang fights have been getting so much worse lately. Anyway, who do I have to thank for stopping them? Tell her who you are. The neighborhood needs to know you're watching over them. License or no license. Stay anonymous. You didn't do good deeds like these for attention, especially when it's not legal. Ooh, now what kind of hero are we going to be? Now, okay, I get both choices, because, like, not telling them, it makes sense, obviously, because, like, you know, I didn't do something legal and I've already broken the law before, so getting my butt into more heat might not be the best move. But people, especially in a situation like this, need something like that to cling on to. Something like, yeah, we'll be protected, it'll be okay. So, I guess even if it's not legal, you have to help out where you can. This game's posing moral choices that I was not expecting. I was expecting a superhero game, but I'm enjoying myself. I hope you guys are enjoying this too. My last name's Sterling. Okay, let's give him. I'll just use my natural voice for him. I'm Sam. Sam Sterling. You say, shaking her hand. Now I'm gonna mess around with the narrator's voice, just see what I can do. Just doing my part to keep the neighborhood safe. That was not the... Okay, we'll figure something out for Sam. Thank you, Sam, the mother says. Are you a real-life powered hero? The little girl whispers, gazing up at you. Oh, yes, they are, the mother answers. Just get home safely, you say as you continue toward home, not wanting to admit that you aren't a real hero, at least not yet. Okay, when you finally walk into your apartment, you're hit with a familiar fragrance of flowers. This thanks to your grandma, who is also powered. Her special ability enables her to communicate with plants. So far back as you can remember, her grandma has filled your home with every kind of flower and foliage imaginable. Excuse me. Your apartment has always felt like a lush greenhouse, and you couldn't imagine it any other way. You drop your bag near the door and approach your favorite flower. Golda, bronze. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know much about flowers. Yeah, I know that probably doesn't sound very good, but I could always just Google what these flowers look like and decide which one looks the coolest. You know what? We're gonna Google it. We're gonna Google which flower of these guys looks the coolest, and just page, or maybe not the coolest, just whichever one I like the best, I guess. Gold flower. Oh, it's like a rose but gold. Probably why it's called a Golda. You, nice job, me. Bronzier. Yeah, okay, that's a bush. I'm sorry to any Bronzia fans out there. That is a bush to me. But I mean, I can get it, and this one has Metallica in the name, so I'm obviously gonna. Right, so the Golda it is. I like Metallica and all, but Golda is a golden rose from a species with metallic foliage. Foliage that Grandma spent years breeding. You lean in and get a whiff of the rose, which always smells faintly of caramel. Another one of... Is it caramel or caramel? Caramel. Because I've pronounced it both, because I've lived all over the place. So... well, it's up to you guys, but hey, let me know. How do you guys pronounce it? I'm afraid the Golda has been I'm afraid the Golda has been especially cross with me today, Grandma says. Is she British? Entering the living room. I had to detone him. That is not British. That is not British, me. I had to dethorn her this morning, and now she feels particularly vulnerable. You know how roses get about their thorns. Such a sore point. Sore point? Sore point. Well, tell Golda I think she's still a stunner. Thorns or no thorns. You say, approaching Grandma. You know Grandma better than anyone, so you describe her style as simple. This Grandma seems like a simple lass. Whoa, what was that? Oh, I'm offenses. I'm famous. Does these red stats mean I'm a bad guy? I don't want to be a bad guy. I don't think. No, I don't want to be a bad guy. Hey, my family likes me, though. Grandma cares about her appearance, but wears comfortable clothing and keeps her silver gray hair trimmed short. You kiss her hello and then step back and point to the new video game you brought home. Another whopping virtuous reality deposit to add to the pot. That was definitely not Grandma. That was not Grandma. Another... yeah, okay, we're just gonna pretend that I said that. That Sam said that, I should say. We said that. We are Sam. Every little bit helps, you know that. Now, if only I could teach one of these little darlings to grow money for leaves. If anyone can do it, it's you, Gran. You say, walking towards the kitchen. What are we having for dinner? I'm starving. But you stop short as you see the face laid out on the table. It appears Grandma's cooked your Oh, I love Grandma. It appears she's cooked your favorite meal. Happy birthday, she says with a grin and hugging your son. I love Grandma. We love her. You finally push your plate away. Your stomach feels uncomfortably full. You love Grandma's cooking, but it's usually pretty heavy. It's all meat and bread and pasta, since vegetables tend to scream at Grandma. Oh my god. Oh god, imagine getting screamed at while trying. Actually, probably don't imagine getting screamed at while trying to eat. Probably should. Yeah. You finally push your plate away. Your stomach uncomfortably full. Yeah. Well, now then. Well then, now that you've eaten a proper meal, I can finally give you your present, Grandma says, turning to a shelf table where several potted plants sit. Their leafy vines hang down across the wall and create a lush green curtain. Guadalupe, would you please? At Grandma's request, the nearest vines swing towards you, an envelope nested between its lowest leaves. Go ahead, take it. Oh, Grandma's so wholesome. I can't wait any longer. Knowing it'd be useless to object, you open the envelope, which is made of silk, fabric, and never paper, and pull out a card made entirely of dried rose petals. Grandma never lets anything go to waste, especially not the remains of her best friends. And while this rose card is especially lovely, you're really stunned by what's inside. Whoa, okay. A brand new derper... I love calling him Derper. A brand new Derper issued Power Hero license. That's actually cool. We love Grandma around these parts. For you. You read the license, double checking that the information listed really belongs to you. You read... Department for the Registration of Powered Resources. Hero license. Name, Sam Sterling. Gender, you identify as... Now, I personally identify as male, but I made the name Sam gender neutral so more people can associate. I'll stick with male. That's what I go with, that's what I am, I go by he, him, all that kind of stuff. So, that's what we're going to stick with. Yeah. Marital status, single, orientation. Since the 21st century, political disputes regarding sexual orientation and marriage, the government has required all citizens to declare their orientation along with their marital status. You think it might be a bit of an invasion of privacy, but it was a required field on your application. So your answer that you're attracted to... Actually, no, I don't want to miss out on characters or like romance options or anything really because I picked that I'm only attracted to men or women or what have you. I think... No, we're all playing this game, but I actually don't know. I don't know what to pick for this because it's weird because I played one of these games in the past and picking who I was attracted to didn't really affect anything, but I don't want to miss out on content. Nah, I'm attracted to women. That's just who I am. Actually, you know what? Let's just see what this game has. Let's see everybody. Wait, no, no, this game wouldn't. This game wouldn't lock off content because I said I wasn't attracted to men or anyone within the gender spectrum. Yeah, right. Yeah, let's go with anyone within the gender spectrum. Sam is Sam. He he doesn't really mind all that kind of stuff. So, how am I gonna make Sam? Do I want to make Sam like me, or do I want it to be a... Nah, I want... Let's just go with women. Let's just... If someone can tell me in the comments if it really affects anything, then please let me know. If not, then, you know. Next name, my code name. Ooh. I'd rather create my own code name. You know what we're going with here, boys. SkyDream. Hey, SkyDream finally gets to be a hero. I'm sorry. I'm truly, actually sorry if anybody was offended by what I said previously. I did not mean to offend anybody. I'm just trying to, you know, play how I want to play. I'm genuinely, if that offended you, I'm sorry. I apologize. Hopefully it didn't. Anyways, onwards with the game. You stare down at disbelief in the license. Grandma's just given you your best birthday present. Ever. How? You start to ask, not sure where to begin. Someone just needed to pay the outstanding bill on your application, Grandma said, beaming. But, Gran, this is too much. We couldn't possibly afford it. Hush, Grandma says, crossing her arms. I had to spend all that extra potpourri money on something useful, didn't I? Grandma smiles at you, then looks at the tree in the corner of the kitchen. She nods, and right on cue, the tree begins to shake, letting loose a shower of sparkling seeds. Grandma only has that old tree, shakes shimmers on the most special of occasions. Thank you, Gran, is all I can imagine. It's only what you deserve, Sam, Grandma said, leaning back in her chair, stroking the shimmering tree. Besides, it's what your parents would have wanted. Oh, this is so sweet. Once upon a time, your parents, the Sound and the Fury, were Millennia City's most famous powered couple. When they met in high school and they discovered your mother's ability to generate vocal sonic waves perfectly complemented my father's ability to harness sound energy, almost immediately they arrived on MC's hero scene. The public became enamored with their budding romance and their harmonious power set. They rose rapidly to the hero A-list. No villain was too dangerous for them to battle, and no party was too exclusive for them to attend. This meant that you got to spend your childhood immersed in MC's finest hero life, knowing that someday you'd fight along your parents as a famous hero. Until your 13th birthday. It was going to be the best night of your life, the first time your powers might begin to manifest. Your parents were at a press conference speaking about one of their recent successes, shutting down an assassin training academy masquerading as a public high school. Yikes, I don't want to play that game. Nah, I'm joking, this is fun. They were supposed to say a few words about their mission, then come straight home to celebrate your big night. However, just as they were preparing to leave, a young villainess crashed the site. She was Miss Artillery, one of the Assassin Academy's teachers. She'd entered, ranting about how the sound and the fury had ruined her life. She quickly went on the offensive with her power-generated weaponry, and your parents moved to apprehend her. But for some strange reason, perhaps they were in such a rush to get home to you, they miscalculated their joint attack. That's when the biggest news story of the year, and what became the biggest news story of the year, the Sound, the Fury. Oh my god! The Sound and the Fury murdered Miss Artillery by... This is liquefying her, snapping her... Oh my god! I mean... I don't think any of these would particularly hurt, because if you snap your spine, you just don't feel anything. I don't know what blowing out her heart means. And liquefying her brain is cheese. They're all, like, awful. Oh my god. We'll go with blowing out her heart, I guess. If any. If I have to choose one of these, because I guess that one would hurt the least, because your heart would just stop, wouldn't it? While your father used his sound-enhanced strength to restrain Miss Artillery, your mother aimed to disable her with a quick sonic blast. You don't know... My god. You don't know whether your mother misjudged the strength of her blast or your father miscalculated the angle. Either way, when the blast cleared, Miss Artillery was twisted up in your father's arms, her fingers clutching at her chest. It certainly wasn't the first time that a hero had accidentally used fatal force against a villain. Traditionally, this mistake would require a fair amount of community service and a hefty fine, especially for a hero of your parents' caliber. However, this accident came on the heels of a recent string of excessive hero-on-villain brutality. Their case fell in the hands of Judge Victron, and ended an up-and-comer who was making a play to become MC's mayor. Deciding a harsh ruling which said, "Oh, why is this situation such ass?" By ass, I mean, like, a bad situation, not, like, poorly written or anything. It's actually pretty good. Deciding that a harsh ruling would set perfectly for his zero-tolerance policy, a campaign against heroic brutality, Judge Victron passed the harshest sentence ever given to any powered hero. Citing murderous misuse of powered ability, he sentenced your parents to a life term in the devoid maximum security facility for powereds, without visitation rights. Oh, now I don't even get to see Mom and Dad. The last time you saw your parents was on that infamous sentence day, right before the police escorted them to the devoid. You'll never forget the image of your mother and father in orange jumpsuits, handcuffed and shamed, their spirits broken. Judge Victron wouldn't even let them hug you goodbye. Oh, that's just sad. Your mother couldn't stop crying as the police escorted her away, but as your dad followed, he turned to you and said the words that you'd come to live by. Don't let this stop you, Sam. Become a hero. For us. Oh my. Okay, that is a section in a game. Your father could not have known the profound effect those words would have on you, especially after his unjust treatment in the hands of the legal system. As a result, you have very strong beliefs regarding the law. I'm sorry, I'm butchering some of this, but this is like a genuine, like, actually fun story. I'll always follow the law in order to avoid my parents' fate. However, I don't necessarily mind getting a bit creative with the law if the situation absolutely calls for it. I have no problem with breaking the law, but I try to follow whenever it seems reasonably enough. I have absolutely no respect for the law. I know that I have my... Fuck me, I'm trying to be edgy and stuff and it's not working. I'm trying to be, like, this edgy character when I'm reading these quotes. I have absolutely no respect for the law. I know that I have to live by my own rules. Now, this one, the middle one seems like the most, like, logical one, right? And that's probably what I'm going to go with, actually. Because, like, I'm not just gonna not I'm not just gonna not live by the law to spite it, you know? But like if I have to break the law, then I have to break the law. After the trial, your parents' considerable fortune was transferred to Miss Artillery's estate, and you were assigned with your only living relative, your grandma. However, moving there with her wasn't so simple. Over the course of their over the course of their careers, your parents had amassed a deadly collection of enemies, each of whom would be thrilled to seek revenge on the Sound and Fury's now defenseless family. So the court enrolled you and your grandma in the Powered Family Protection Program. Poof. You and your grandma were given new identities. The Sterling name was assigned to you, though you at least got to keep your first name. Grandma suddenly found herself forced to live with the pitiful Poofed Stipend, and had to move you into a small apartment in the 15 fringes. Why did I say Eastern? Okay, I'm sorry. Had to move you into a small apartment in the Eastern fringes. She also had to put you out of your fancy. Powered only private school and enroll you in your local public school. In the course of a few short months, your life became entirely unrecognizable to you, and it hadn't been the same since. That's why every day you remind yourself of who you really are. Your family name is Tricamo, Apple, Caston, Rosa. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, by the way. Like I know I am. Rosado, Casatan, or no, that's definitely not like a Thissy name. Lee, well, Rizzo, Dector, Ita. Dector sounds the coolest. Hey, what'd you do when you found Miss Artillery? Oh, I decked her. Such a dumb joke. Okay, yeah, Dector. Sam Dector. So Sam Dector was no more, giving way instead to Sam Sterling, and you found that the Sterling version of yourself was vastly different, forced to grow up way faster than anybody else should. Back in the kitchen, you look across the table at Grandma. She's the only person in the world who really understands how you feel. After all, she was forced to abandon the life she had for over 70 years to enter the Puff with you. Despite this, Grandma still had managed to start over and find a way to be happy once again. This is a lot of exposition, my god. And without her, you'd have no shot at becoming a hero. Thank you, Gran, you repeat, fighting against the lump forming in your throat. Aww. Oh, hush up, your grandma says, wiping her cheeks. What are you waiting for? You've got a career to start. Oh, that's actually great. You run to your room, where you've made sure not to keep any plants since you don't need Grandma's best spies hanging around. Is that a... You know, I'm not going to judge it. It's decorated plainly, but what truly makes the room yours is the wall filled with framed photos of your favorite powered heroes. Featured centrally are your parents in their classic Sound and Fury costumes. Right next to your favorite powered hero, Rebellion. He's been your idol ever since you were a little kid. You've got plenty of other posters of hero worship wall, but whose career do you want to emulate the most? The team players or the solo heroes? Rebellion, the leader of the Millennial Group. Group MC's number one power team. The Everyman Brigade, MC's most prominent work-for-hire team. Static, the Eastern Fringe's current champion, or Black Magic, MC's latest hero heartthrob. Interesting. Do I want to be like a Justice League type thing? Or do I want to just be on my own? Like, I save the world the way I save it. Or should I just make No, I'm not gonna make that joke. Not gonna make that joke. Interesting, actually. Because The hero that I want Sam Deckard to turn out to be, or Dector, I apologize, is, I'm just gonna go to stats here just to see how it looks. The way that I want him to be is very... Actually, I'm not entirely sure how I want Sam to be. Do I want him to be, like, a Batman, sort of, they fear me type person? Or do I want him to be, like, a symbol of peace, all might? People respect me and look up to me. They rely on me. Honestly, it could be either of those, and I'd be okay with either of those, honestly. For Sam here. Now, okay, Sam as a person, I mean, he's very blank slatey right now, which I'm sure is intentional, but honestly, with all of these, it would be a very good redemption story for him to be like the leader of a crazy not crazy, I mean, the leader of a very good, you know, group of heroes that are going to save the world. But wouldn't it make more sense character-wise for him to just work on his own? Be for he works for himself, not for others type thing. No, he's too heroic for that. I think right now, as things are, I'm gonna be following Rebellion. I want him to be a bit of a team player, at least for right now. If things change later and I'm like, all right, I don't want to work with these idiots, then I'll, you know, not work with them, I guess. Okay, the Rebellion was initially trained among the meek, a fervent anti-powered cult. He eventually broke free of their influence to become a shining symbol of powered progress. A shining symbol of powered progress. That is a bit of a sentence. Doing everything from fighting in the Third World War, that happened, to receiving the first Millennia City Hero of Tomorrow, Hot Grant, and making it the highest honor possible for any aspiring hero. Rebellion also reshaped the Millennial Group, which had been MC's most famous powered team for decades. The group has gone through countless roster changes, of the history of which you know by heart, of course. The group's roster consists of Rebellion, the team's long-standing leader, the Diva, a wickedly strong team matriarch, a Fistful, steroid pumping muscle from New Jersey. That is definitely not the right accent, but it's whatever. Monk, a spiritual guru turned hero. A spiritual guru turned hero. An artificial intelligence strategist and information hub processor. I swear I do voice acting stuff. Every morning you stare at the hero wall and envision what your own poster would look like among these famous heroes. Peeling your eyes away, your attention wanders down to the video game you're supposed to be testing. Now that you have your license, you can finally quit the game testing job, since there are dozens of more ways for heroes to earn a living. Most of these paid jobs are very difficult to obtain, though you've heard the horror stories about the endless lines at the Derper to collect powered hero unemployment. Still, you don't think twice about tossing the video game in the trash and reaching for your single most prized possession. Your SkyDream costume. Hey, that's so cool! As you suit up, you pull a mask over your face to protect your identity, even though no one would recognize you as the sound and furious child now that you're all grown up. You don't need anyone discovering your sterling identity and coming after Grandma. What kind of Spider-Man? You've been perfecting the right costume for a long time. Since it's your calling card as a hero. Knowing this, you've chosen a color scheme that's all tones of black and metal gray for intimidation. Bright and bold primary colors to get noticed. Black and bronze, the color of Millennia City's flag. Blue and gold, the color of my favorite hero, Rebellion. Red and Red and silver, the colors of my parents' Sound and Fury costume. Now, I don't want to scare people though. I want people to like be happy and stuff. So I'm either going with bright and bold, or I'm going with red and silver. Because, like, either I'm honoring my parents, which is yes, do that, considering, you know, the parents were actual good people that just did a really bad thing, or I should, you know, do bright and bold. Be, you know what? I'm gonna be my own hero. I'm gonna protect the city, no matter what it takes. Yeah, yeah. Because I'm gonna protect the city, no matter the cost. I'm not just gonna stick to the law. I don't care. I will do as need be to protect the city. That's how I'm making Sam. Anything it takes to protect the city. Anything it takes. And that's different from his parents' vision. At least how I would assume his parents' vision was. Or maybe is. I don't know. Maybe they're out of prison. Probably not. Maybe they escape. Every time you put on your costume, you can't wait to use your powers. So you snap your fingers, generating a small pop of energy, which also happens to be your favorite color. Wait, I can create my own color? I mean, personally, I'm a fan of green. And, out of all these, my favorite color, I'll just go with green. I'm a fan of a few greens. I just like green. As the pop of green energy why'd I make it capital? As the pop of green energy fades, you look over your costume in the mirror. Knowing the style without substance means very little. You've chosen design features to amplify your powers. Truth be told, you've been able to afford your hero license way sooner if you hadn't spent so much money on your most prized Come on now. Okay, aerodynamic rounded curves with black wings for maximum speed. Ooh, fly. A rocket backpack to channel excess energy and add propulsion to my normal speed flying. Large metal wristbands that store energy for blasting. Alright, Bakugo. If you haven't watched My Hero, you're not going to get some of these references, but I assume most of you have. And if you haven't, check it out. It's a good show. Now then, how do I want him to be? No, I don't want him to be like big clunky man. I just want him to get in, do what he needs to do, get out, and look cool while doing it. So I'm definitely going with the wings. As you, SkyDream, stand there in your perfect costume with all your intentions set, you realize you're finally ready to start your hero career. But becoming a legendary hero means more than just fulfilling your dreams. It also means redeeming the Dector name. You have one ultimate goal: to become an A-list hero and reveal to Millennia City that you actually are the Sound and Fury's child. You know that achieving this level of success is the only way to restore the honor to your parents and redeem your family's legacy to the hero world. It's because it's so important to your end goal. And because it's so important to your end goal, one central question constantly plagues you. It's time to rise. In your rise to become a legend, is it more important to focus on achieving fame or upholding justice? I'll need everyone to know my name to get to the top. I don't care what they're saying as long as they're talking about me. Having people know who I am is always going to help, but only if my reputation as a hero is worthwhile. It's vital that I uphold justice first and foremost, but that doesn't mean I can't smile for the press once a mission is accomplished. Always doing the right thing will make me a hero worthy of legend. I'll get to the top by never compromising my commitment to justice. This is like any publicity is good publicity, and I don't like that mindset. I'm just not a fan of it, gonna be honest. Having people know who I am is always going to help, but only if my reputation as a hero is worthwhile. I mean, no, I have to be a good person, I have to be a good hero. And, I mean, getting a bit of fame here and there is nothing I got any issue with. For having the courage to begin your hero rise, your legend has already increased. Your legend level is the most important meter for gauging your success as a hero, as not only affected by the decision you make, but any fluctuations in your public image. Rebellion's legend is the highest on record and astounding 100, so that's your ultimate goal. Oh, so that's what that was. Okay. Your legend level is tracked on your hero license. You flip it over and see you've got a long way to go since you're currently a lowly level 1. You sigh and place the... I sighed in real life. You sigh and place the license on your desk. Since a plastic version is only a keepsake, the official version of your license has already been scanned and uploaded to your Mi chip, a bit on your personal tablet technology, embedded in the underside of your wrist. Not too long ago, people used paper slips to pay for things, and little plastic devices such as phones were... okay, whoopsies, I butchered that. Not too long ago, people used paper slips to pay for things and little plastic devices such as phones, but that was before all communication, identification, entertainment, and banking functions became standard in beaches. Why can I say that fine, but I butcher regular sentences? I swear, half this video has just been me, like, beating on my inability to speak. Each Mi chip is fully customizable, with 3 robotic personality programs that adapts to your habits and desires. There are 3 standard templates available for the robotic personality. So you decide to go with the polite butler, sassy diva, supportive caretaker. We love supportive people. Bertha. Oh boy. What do we name a supportive caretaker? I was thinking about naming her Mom, but my character has an actual mom. You know what? I think Mom would be a cute name for it, though. She's a supportive caretaker. We're naming her Mom. And, like, fully capped out M-O-M. Stands for Mother of Me. I'll think of a better acronym later. Congratulations on your license, sweetheart. Mi chip Mom says inside your head in a soothing voice, I apologize. All Mi chip functions are connected directly to your senses, so Mom floats into your eyes thanks to holographic and imaging wire to your retinas. Only you are able to see the Mi chip Mom, who appears as a girthy woman wearing an apron. That's why they said Bertha. I'm sorry if your name's Bertha, by the way. I just know that you're going to be the best hero ever. Thanks, Mom, you say, smiling. Actually, let me see how my stats have been affected by all of that. I'm slightly less famous, but that doesn't really have much to do with anything so far. Okay, so... not counting lawlessness and lawfulness, we're pretty much neutral all the way through. I mean, kind of. But, like, we're not, like, crazy in one direction or crazy in another. A bit here, but I'm sure it won't be that bad. You then take a moment to check your hero statistics by clicking the... Right, I know. Mom, you say, move the show stats button to my home screen and... You look all insane talking those electronic voices in your head, Grandma says in the doorway. That's why I simply refuse to have one of those machines implanted in me. It just doesn't seem right. I know how you feel about Mi chips, Gran, you say, turning towards her. And it's annoying because now they've done away with landlines and cell phones. There's no way of getting in touch with you. Which is precisely how I like it, Grandma says. But look at you, a born Dector hero. Well, this born hero had better get out there, you say, shaking off your nerves. This career isn't going to start This career isn't going to start itself. Wait, before you go. Grandma walks towards you and you see that she holds an envelope in her hands. Your stomach drops. Oh... It's such a big day, Grandma says, her eyes on the floor. They'd want to be here so badly. Your jaw goes tight. You know exactly what Grandma wants you to do. While the Devoid may not allow its prisoners to have any visitors, it does permit them to receive letters. So for years you wrote to your parents telling them everything about your life. You thought writing those letters would make you feel better, but it's only made you feel worse, because the Devoid doesn't allow its prisoners to write any letters back. It's been years since you've written anything. Grandma looks up at you, and your heart feels like it might break. I'm sorry. But you know how I feel about this, Gran. You don't let your write letters to your parents anymore because it's too painful. I'm angry at my parents. No, I'm not angry at them, bro. Stop trying to be an edgelord. I need to learn how to live without them, and I don't know what to say. I think this... Ah, fuck. I need to censor that later. Yikes. But... Because this is like a thing that real people like deal with in their everyday lives, and like as someone who's not experienced stuff like that, I don't really know how they would feel. Is it painful or no? I need with all this story, I want Sam to be the best hero he can be. So I want him to stand on his own for right now. I don't want him to be held down by pain. Yeah, that sounded edgy, but hey, don't let any pain in your past hold you back, man. You keep doing what you want to do. The rest will fall into place as need be. You spent years hoping that your parents would somehow find a way to write back to you, but after all that wasted effort, you finally accepted the truth. No one ever escapes a life sentence in the Devoid. So what's the point in writing? That was not what I meant. Alright, Sam, Grandma says, fighting to keep her face even. Now listen to me. Please be careful out there. Lord knows you won't be able to sleep until you're home. I will, Gran, I promise. Then off you go, she says, drumming up a smile. And do try to kick some butt, yes? We love Grandma. I love Grandma. Ooh, the next chapter. Ready to go, you step up on your window's 14th-story ledge and look out at the grandeur of the Millennia City. One of the advantages of living in the Eastern Fringes is the spectacular view of MC's iconic skyline. You take a deep breath, letting the energy of the city run through you. Standing on this precipice, you can't help but wonder what kind of hero you will become, and will you be able to survive long enough to achieve the legend status you crave? The choice is up to you. You think to yourself, right before you jump off the ledge. Chapter 3, the lower case. What do you mean that's in uppercase? It's capitalized. You free fall to the streets below, dropping 10 stories before you tense your muscles and feel your flight powers kicking in. I'm sorry, some of these jokes have not exactly been top tier, but you know what? We're having a fun time. And that's what's important, especially right now. Just have some fun. And stay safe. Please do that. Please stay safe. You allow yourself one joyride up to the bank of clouds before swooping back down towards the cover of the skyline. Having your hero license makes flying legal, but you still don't need to start your career with an unregistered flying ticket. So, you cruise low against the buildings towards the heart of the city, downtown MC. Every time you use your my flowers? Every time you use your powers, your power level lowers, different power, normal flying. Okay, this is just exposition on how to play, I guess. Hey! Flying doesn't require any power. Of a strong 100. Your flight through the eastern fringes takes you across the quaint brownstones of Rhine Hill and through the Valor Park, pulling in close to the high-end metal giants that mark downtown. You land on a ledge lined with the silver statues of Greek gods and goddesses. One of the hardest parts of being a rookie hero is finding cases. The fact you're reminded of is a pink-clad heroine bothers some teenagers in a nearby alley, and 3 metal sentries thunder through the skies above you. Even if you are lucky enough to stumble upon a decent case, you'll still have to beat out dozens of other aspiring heroes to accomplish the mission and get the credit. So how am I going to find my first legitimate hero opportunity? I mean, if I got an agent... When your life was turned upside down by your parents' imprisonment, One of the only people you could trust was the PF agent assigned to the case, Jenny Yu. Even though Jenny doesn't have any powers of her own, she loves powered hero stuff, just as much as you do. So when you had no one else to talk to, you and Jenny would spend hours gushing about your favorite heroes, games, and oh, she's a nerd. Of course, Jenny is the first person you want to call to talk about your heroic start, or to tell about your heroic start, especially since she'll have all kinds of advice on how to start, or how to find a good first case. You hold your arm up and press a button on your metal wristband, popping open a panel to reveal your embedded me chip. You can't imagine what your life would, what life was like before humans merged with tablets. All right, sir. Mom does so much for you. No, most days she even feels like your best friend. Oh. You also have your me chip thanks to your powers, since the current accepted powered origin theory is that advanced technology paved the way for powered abilities. This theory suggests that once humans integrated with tablet technology, their tablets begin to cover many basic functions, like memory and navigation. Once adjusted, this technological enhancement, the human body was able to evolve and unlock new potential in the form of hidden powers. In the form of powered abilities. I swear, I'm reading stuff that's not even on the screen. These powers then begin to solve pressing global problems. Since humans could now do things like generate natural resources and survive in harsher conditions, it seemed that the early 21st century technological boom laid the groundwork for the 22nd century power boom, which had once again caused the world to change in startling and exciting ways. However, despite the chip's ceaseless wonders, you currently need to make a call. Mom, you say, call Jenny Yu. Of course, dear. Of course, dear. Me chip mom echoes in your ear. Please ask Jenny how she's doing for me. It's okay. Hey, future me, edit that out. Jenny picks up right away, appearing holographically in front of you. Since she's such a geek, you tend to forget how pretty Jenny is. She's half Korean, half British. She always wears her hair in a tight ponytail and never applies a bit of makeup, causing her to appear sleek and no nonsense at times. Also, if I didn't edit that in the future me, first of all, you're an idiot. Second off, pretty much what I was checking there was the audio recording that I remembered I'm using a different software. So, yeah. Anyways, back to the story. Actually, you think alright. Actually, sometimes you think Jenny's super hot. Sadly, she turns out to be super gay. Is that her hero name? Right now, Jenny looks a bit surprised to see you, probably because she's never seen you in your SkyDream costume before. How do we want to voice Jenny? God, I picked that I like women, meaning I'm gonna have to be voicing a lot of. Oh, like this is gonna be fun. And by fun, I mean painful, because I can't do a British accent or a Korean accent. I assume this means your grandma gave you your hero license? Oh, that was awful. I'm just gonna speak in a higher pitch. I assume this means your grandma gave you your hero license? So that's what we're going with for now, alright. Jenny says, traces of her I can't do that, I'm sorry, sir. Traces of her British accent still present despite years of living in Millennia City. You mean you knew Grandma had my license and you didn't tell me? You ask mildly offended. Please, your grandmother would have murdered me if I'd ruined her surprise. Anyway, check your email for your birthday present, Jenny says, looking over you. And just so you know, that costume makes your waist look bloody enormous. Alright, Gordon Ramsay. That Jenny, such a charmer, not missing a beat. You shoot bag. Okay, but like she's gay, so coming on to her might be a bit weird. Yeah, you're just jealous because of how cool I am. I thought you said traces of British. This is just like full British talking. You've caught me. I'm positively batty with envy. Now I have to run, but I've got another trip with you. I've got another tip for you. A fingertip, if you. I appreciate the pun. I appreciate the pun. I love puns. Jenny says, chuckling to herself. Wait, what is that? Before you can finish, Jenny hangs up on you. One of her favorite things to do. Knowing that calling her back would be useless, you ask your meat chip mom to open your email instead. And sure enough, Jenny has staged you quite a fantastic birthday present. Ah, yes, we love Jenny. A link to hand-picked hero case listings. Maybe she's not so intolerable after all. I like Jenny. Oh! I saw that number at the bottom. That's what that noise was. I saw that number. You smile as you start to read because the case hadn't been sponsored by Rexford Schillers. Shears? Schillers. MC's wealthiest playboy. His family had a major stake in the construction of the Big Sur fusion plant that now powers all of Western America. Turns out that Rexford recently had a charity gala at his townhouse for the Powered Orphan Fund. Naturally, it was a must-attend event for the social season, or of the social season, especially since the theme was a powered masquerade ball. The party was a smashing success, but the next day, Rexford woke up to find one of his most prized possessions had been stolen. A party guest managed to get past the considerable security measured and steal a valuable angelical artifact, the gravitas. That's definitely not how you pronounce that fancy, but we'll roll with it. A mysterious rod rumored to have hidden powers. While little is known about the gravitas, while little is known about the gravity ass, it makes it's a one-of-a-kind, highly valuable, and potentially dangerous thing. Excuse me. The police are looking into the theft, but Rexford wants the artifact back so badly that he's opened up the case to any powered hero with a reward of, ooh, that's cash! You nearly choked. That's a lot of money, yes sir. With such large reward at stake, along with the inevitable media coverage surrounding the high-profile case, you know the competition is, in this one, it's going to be fierce. You check the page views on the listing, and of course it's already been visited thousands of times. Still, you promised yourself you'd go big or go home, and this would certainly qualify as going big. Though, the real reason you want to take this case is because I need that reward. Cash would be nice. The press coverage will get my name out in the heroic world. I do not mind. I want to show the police that I can do their job. No, that's just being mean. It really could hurt a lot of people. And I don't want people to be hurt. I'd feel bad. The press coverage will get my name out into the heroic world. I mean, it'll do that regardless of what my intentions are. But I need to make sure nobody's hurt by this thing. The artifact is a major public hazard, and it's your duty as a hero to keep that threat contained. Unfortunately, the only clue available is the case. On this case is a photo of the suspected thief, who was an unnamed +1 guest at the gala. The photo features a man dressed in an expensive suit when wearing a mask themed after Ragela. Okay, that's the name we're going with. A very flamboyant rock star. What kind of accent even was that? The match's emerald-encrusted mask. The thief's suit is lined with green piping. I shouldn't have laughed at that. His fingertips are painted with blue. Are painted with blue? Are painted with blue. The photo isn't a whole lot to go on, so you start to wonder what kind of... But then you thought so hard you almost fall off a ledge. You can fly, dude. Jenny's fingertip. Oh, she's a genius. You think knowing the fingertip might be your... Yes, they were blue. I butchered that. That's right, his fingertips were blue. This is a very important detail that nobody's... Oh, we love Jenny around these parts. This is a very important detail that no one is bound to know the significance behind. MC's government requires that the large-scale building projects designate a portion of their budget to the powered arts spending. Since Grandma has a particularly green thumb, she sometimes cultivates the unique flowers commissioned by the emerging property owners. One of Grandma's biggest sales was a species of cross-brand orchids that sing classical operas. It took Grandma years to achieve that kind of harmonical miracle, but there was one flaw in the design. If you touched the orchids, It turns your fingertips a different color depending on the opera I was trained to sing. Emma sold Emma? Grandma sold those orchids exclusively to one downtown high-rise building. It means that the thief's fingertips were painted blue from Grandma's orchids. You know exactly where he lives, since only the penthouse apartment got the blue Carmen orchids. The reason Jenny sent you that case listing, she also knows about the operatic orchid imprinting. Jesus, why am I not stuttering? I'm just butchering this. Which I shouldn't, because this is actually like super well written, like really detailed. She must I should mention I was not expecting this game to be like this detailed. We're an hour and 10 minutes in, and we just now got on our first case. I was expecting to beat this game in one sitting, just like a bit of a 2-hour sitting, but it seems like it'll be a bit longer than that, or maybe not. Who knows? She also knows about the operatic orchid imprinting. She must have seen the thief's fingertips in the case photo and waited on the information, knowing you'd be legally licensed to investigate today, on your birthday. You leap off the roof in the direction of the blue orchid penthouse, excitement coursing through your veins. This is a very big case. How do you feel about taking it on? This case is a bit much for the first night, but I'm going to rise to the occasion. This is the perfect case for me to start with. This case is way too easy. I can't wait to move on to bigger and badder stuff. Perfect case. We're going to be optimistic. This case has a lot of money and publicity attached. While other emerging heroes might not be ready to handle it on their first night out, you certainly are. Well, let's hope so anyways. The Orchid apartment is in central downtown, so your flight over there will be super short. It's also good this thief can afford a penthouse because it would be pretty easy for you to access by flight. Yeah, it is. Your first priority is finding the gravitas, but catching the thief would be an added bonus. What would be the best way to approach? Hover near the window to see if anybody's home first, then act accordingly. Break into the apartment and try to... No, because like if I'm in the wrong apartment, I'm just breaking into some poor bastard's home. As the ritzy high-rise comes into view, you can already see Grandma's blue orchids on the balcony. You relax your muscles and slow your pace as you approach the building, which proves difficult as your adrenaline pulses through your veins. You drop down along the wall, trying to keep out of sight. A building like this is bound to have anti-powered security measures, however... Hovering close to the penthouse window, you peer into the living room to see if anyone is home. Your heart nearly stops when you come face to face with a man standing inside the apartment, inches away from the glass. Ooh, are we gonna have a fight? This man wanna scrap? Do you know who I am? Hydrate or die, kids. Do you know who I am? It's definitely the thief from the case photo, right down to the blue-stained fingertips. Currently, he looks far less regal and far more menacing, with overgrown stubble and long greasy hair. Hey. You freeze trying to decide what to do. Unfortunately, the thief thinks faster. He whips out a handgun and points it directly at you. Energy pulse. I want to keep some of that power in case, you know. Panicked, you close your eye and let out a low-level energy pulse. You hear the glass wall separating you from the thief shatter. When you open your eyes, the thief's gun lies on the floor, melted beyond repair. The alarm begins to sound and the thief makes a run for it. Luckily, I'm sorry. Luckily, with the glass window now broken, you're able to fly right to him. You're able to fly after him. Why can't I say that? I think what's happening is that I want to say it a certain way in my head, but it's just not written that way on the paper. And it's easier with other scripts because obviously, I memorize those and then I get up and I perform them. But this is all blind, and I'm sitting down in my chair. As you pursue the thief, you expect him to run for the front door, which is why you're puzzled when he heads deeper into the lavishly decorated apartment. You race after him into the master bedroom suite, and as you do, your question about this escape plan is suddenly answered. He doesn't head for the front door because he's got teleportation in his bedroom. That's what we like to see. Actually, no, it's not what we like to see. But personal teleportation units were supposed to be the next wave of transportation future of the transportation future. But the automotive industry piled millions of dollars into research into revealing the potential cancer risks of automatic fusion or fission. So the government had to ban the sale of all units, putting everyone back into planes, trains, and automobiles. The thief didn't seem to care about potential carcinogens. However, since he is already inside the unit and programming the machine's teleportation course now. Without hesitation, you point your hand to the console and let an energy burst rip the controls. The thief screams and jumps from the smoke unit. That was furious, he looks up at you and snarls. That was a very big mistake, rookie. You can barely hear him over the alarm blaring in your ears. You know it's only going to be minutes before the police show up, so you gotta act fast. The thief seems to be thinking the same thing as he jumps to his feet and pulls something out of his belt. What's my best move? Stun the thief with a focused energy blast. Fly and physically attack the thief before he can act. Use an energy crackle to disarm the thief. Throw an energy shield up to discern the nature of the weapon. Let loose a powerful energy barrage. Who cares if he survives the attack? I don't want to kill anybody. Maybe in another playthrough. But yeah, no, I'm just going to disarm him. You let out a small crackle of energy meant to knock the weapon from the thief's hand, but he unsheathes an oversized red-hot sword and slices through your crackle with ease. Looks like he has a high-tech energy disruptor blade. The thief launches at you and takes a swipe with the blade. An attack you narrowly dodge. He's now come near enough that a close-range attack should take him down. What's your next move? A couple of well-placed punches, or assault. No, but he's already cut through that, so I just need to punch him in his mouth. Knowing the thief's blade can block energy. Yeah! Can block your energy attacks. You shift into physical attack. Smart move. You hold out your fists and hover a few feet off the ground and begin to spin quickly. A move you like to call the Fist of Fury. Definitely what you thought of. Definitely original, Sam. You immediately barrage the thief with a series of spinning punches, knocking the sword out of his hand, sending him reeling across the room. Just as you have the thief disabled, you hear the wail of police sirens from the streets below. Am I British? Because slugger isn't a very American term. If any British person is watching, then please let me know if slugger is a term. Or maybe I'm just a dumb American and this is an American saying and I'm not American enough to know it. Slugger, you curse. No, you're almost out of time. There. Wait, no, this is me, like, being upset that I'm not, and that I'm, like, scared I'm not going to catch the guy. Slugger! You'd curse knowing you're almost out of time. You aren't sure if the gravitas is even in this apartment. You consider your options. You could wait for the police and work with them to locate the gravitas. That would garner some goodwill with the MCPD, but also might... Ooh, I need that reward. Or you could interrogate the thief before the police arrive and find the gravitas on your own, taking all the reward and credit for yourself. I don't care if the police are pissed off at me. I want to be my own hero for me. I'm not being a hero for the law. I'm being a hero because I want to help people. Just because I figured that'd be a better story, first off. Please follow the law, people. Stay inside. Tell me where the gravitas is. Like I was voice changed halfway through, but it's whatever. You stand over the now defenseless thief, allowing green energy to crackle across your fingertips. Alright. The gravitas is in the safe and the... The thief knows that you don't have time to check the apartment before the police arrive, so you need to make sure he's telling the truth. Jesus! Which is why you fired a thin energy through his thigh! Do not lie to me. This is not like him at all. What stat? Let me see your stats. Like... Huh? Which about these ones is asshole? You know what? Screw it. We're going with swears now. But like... I didn't want to hurt him. I just wanted, like, okay, I'm gonna find this for me. I don't really care about the police. Slugger, okay, the thief shouts, writing on the floor. I was hired to steal the gravitas. I'm Tracker. I have the power to discover the location of anything on the planet, so finding and stealing things is stop stalling. Who hired you? You cut him off. The police are bringing. Oh no, that is one bad dude. He will kill me if I. But another. Yikes! But another energy. Oh no, no way! This is one bad dude. He'll kill me for sure if I. Ah! But another energy crackle from you is enough to convince Tracker that you'd be able to give his employer a run for his money. Alright, it was Smither, he screams. I worked the gravitas over to him right away. That's all I know, I swear. You freeze because you know exactly who Smither is. And after hearing he's involved, is not good. Who's Smither? Or Smither? As the front door comes crashing down, you knock Tracker out with one swift punch. Then pull out a swift card that reads SkyDream. Even though you don't want to work with the police, they should know you're the name of the hero who helped them on this case. You drop the card on Tracker, drop the car on him, drop the card on Tracker, and run for the window, bursting outside just as the police come swarming into the bedroom. This would be a fun game to play with, like, multiple people and, like, argue over choices. Now that... I need to get a Discord call going with some people at some point. Chapter 4. Smither, Vice, and Everything Splice. You know what? I like the Powerpuff Girls. That was a fun show. It's also about superheroes. Pulling up into the sky, you shudder. Nice. Pulling up into the sky, you shudder as you think about Smither. He owns 4 legitimate businesses in the static lane section of the Eastern Fringes, but everyone knows those are fronts used to launder money from his prostitution, drug, and illegal firearms operations. This guy a mafia boss? Even worse, Smither fancies himself as the boss of a... Yup. Fucking called it. I guess we're going with swears now, boys. I hope you guys don't mind. Even worse, Smither fancies himself the boss of an elite-powered mob. All of his business generals form an executive club, the Splice Circle. Aside from possessing dangerous powered abilities, the Splice Circle generals all indulge in their splicing poison of choice, whether it be animal-human hybridization, hypersteroid uses, or gene-deep cosmetic alteration. Not having time to fiddle with your Mii chip while searching while flying, you decide to test the new Thought Command function. The first wave of your Thought Command technology has been released, but it hasn't replaced voice commands entirely yet, since the software is rumored to still be a bit buggy. Clear your mind and focusing on the Mii chip, you think, Mom, search current Splice Circle roster. Within seconds you hear a response from Mom. Oh no, it appears that you need to upgrade... Damn it, Mom! There used to be a time when the internet was available for one base price, but since the government allowed the internet providers to bundle packages for speed and website access across the during the Greater Depression, what is the origin of this? You've been operating out of the lowest cost bundle. Actually, your entire Mii chip is operating at a similarly low level. The potential functions of the Mii chips are endless. If you have money to pay for services, Mii chips can do everything from multiple perspective surveillance to acquire downloadable skills, but that requires a high-level processing chip and additional fees. Poor Mom could also have dozens of different outfits and personality dimensions if you had more money for upgrades. Welcome to the 22nd century, where class status is determined primarily by tablet functionality. And unfortunately for you, it looks like it's time for an internet upgrade. Which is going to cost you. Great, I barely have money. Well, if I get money from this. Authorize upgrade and execute search. You think, trying to focus on the command through a cloud of frustration in your head. It won't be long before they start charging for air per breath, as you think. Immediately, several holographic website images flash before your eyes. One is a chart listing the Splice Circle's current roster. Another is a review of air humidifiers. And the last is a list of services for anger management.
Understanding why many reviewers have bashed the midship thought command function for acting glitchy, you started to focus on the main roster. Display circle. Rumored roster. Boss Smither, Security General Boulder. Now, I know who he is, and I know he has businesses, but I probably want to find out more about his crime, just so I know what I'm up against. Prostitution. Lolly. Huh? Excuse me? FBI? Oh, it's a general. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna... Note... Lolly is the Circle's longest-standing general information for the spree of disfiguring attacks that would push her up through the ranks of her Eastern Fringe Annie gang into the Circle. Casing remained of Smithers' most prized general, serving as the Display Circle's underboss. I mean, I already got the underboss, so I don't need to be super well prepared. I'll just go in and shoot somebody if need be. I will kill. Well, will I? I will kill if necessary, if I absolutely have to. But, well, will I? Okay, I'll see what I'm doing. Satisfied with your knowledge of the Display Circle, you're prepared to take off towards Static Lane until you notice a bright flash coming from one of the surrounding rooftops. I'm sorry. Focusing on the source, you see it's a reporter, obviously working overtime to break the first scoop on this story. You really need to find Smither quickly, but should you take down to swoop in for a quick interview? No, that might cost me the reward, and I'm not taking that risk. You fly into the sky. Okay, sorry, I was reading in my head for a second. You fly into the sky knowing you don't have a single second to waste, but if you pull up to the bank of clouds, your midship sends you a web alert. Sorry to be a bother, dear, your midship mom says, but it appears your hero press alert has picked up something. You forgot you'd even set the hero press alert, but it's a good thing you did. Whether you want the attention or not, you should be aware of what's being said about you in the press, though you didn't think it would be happening this quickly. The alert takes you to the Hero Press blog, where you see a photo about yourself, taken literally seconds ago, flying away from Tracker's penthouse. The caption reads, Unknown newcomer, Craps. Unknown newcomer, Craps' first lead in a Gravitas case. More to come. Photo captured by Sonia Chale. Chaya? Chai? Even though getting press isn't your priority, it is. It's not the worst thing in the world for people to start recognizing. Despite yourself, you tell mom to archive the article. It's the first official press relating the legend that'll boost your career, after all. Legend prize unlocked. As a bonus for achieving one of the highest possible I actually didn't know I did that. As a bonus for achieving one of the highest possible legend levels at this point, 9, your health level has been restored and raised to 100. Good work, hero. I mean, I don't think I was hurt, but I'll take it. I am way more justice than fame right now. That's not how I thought this would be going, but I want SkyDream. I mean, Dream's in his name. I want people to, like, look up to him and admire him, you know? No matter what happens, that's my end goal. I want SkyDream to be a symbol of peace. And I'm not just saying that because my hero could. I'm saying that because, like, genuinely, that would, in my opinion, make for a good story. At least, like, for my personal taste, just because I like stories like that. But, of course, I could have just killed the dude before. Which would have definitely been interesting, but hey, maybe in another playthrough. You take off high across the sky at top speed, knowing you need to get to Static Lane before the police do, or before another hero encroaching on your case does. As you fly, you consider how any powered hero stupid enough to take on the Splice Circle in the past have always ended up dead. The only notable exception has been Static, the self-proclaimed champion of the Eastern Fringes. named after the Fringe's most crime-clogged neighborhood, Static Lane. While most heroes concentrate on the more glamorous and less dangerous heroing outside of the Fringes, Static has done good work cleaning up the Splice Circle's mess. However, no one's seen Static in months, a troubling mystery that's gone unsolved. Worst of all, Smither and the Splice Circle are responsible for funding the rival anti-gang's activity in the Fringes, using the gang as a recruitment base to pipeline employees into various branches of the organization. The anti-gangs are considered vying for the top billing with the Circle, and a gang war has been brewing for months, as evidenced by the fight you broke up earlier today. Without a doubt, Smither is responsible for making life in the eastern Fringes highly hazardous. Knowing he's involved with the Gravitas theft hits close to home for you. But you want to take this case on mostly because it will serve as a blow to the Splice Circle's criminal practices and will further disorganize anti-gang activity in the Fringes. Being a hero that takes down Smither will make me famous, or more than anything, it's going to be fun. I mean, I don't want people to be hurt. That's why I would do this. But I mean, I'll take the fame. Actually, stat-wise, I'm way more justice than fame right now. Because, like, I'm not going to sacrifice justice for fame. But I'm not just going to not want to be famous. You know? I mean, like, if given the opportunity, of course I'd want Sam to be famous here. So, we're going to go with fame on this one. Smither has remained untouchable thanks to the team of high-priced lawyers at some corrupt contacts within the MC government, so catching him with the Gravitas could be a rare illegal thread capable of unraveling the entire Splice Circle organization. No one's been able to even put a dent in their operations, so if you're the first to do so, your career will be made instantly. However, as you begin to breathe a bit heavier from the exertion of flying so fast, you think about how advanced this case could prove to be. Smither's no joke, and his crew will kill you in 1,000 different ways without hesitation. Perhaps this might be a bit more than you can handle on your first night out. Then you remind yourself that you were born for major cases like this. Moving forward, no matter how successful you become, this kind of fear and doubt are going to be a part of your career at every level. In fact, the pressure to stay afloat is only going to get worse no matter, so you better learn to cope with it now. After a super fast flight back to the Fringes, you land on a roof across the street from Smithers Club, Shed. Your favorite hero tip-off blog, just the tip, says it's rumored. Alright, we're going to take a sip of water and ignore that line. Says it's rumored that Smither has a secret base of operations hidden somewhere in that shed. Since he was once romantically linked to Madame Vice, Shed's owner. Madame Vice has the power to seduce people into doing her bidding, and you've also read that ever since being unceremoniously dumped by Smither, she might have aspirations to take over his head honcho role. While you may be able to use this tidbit to your advantage if things get nasty inside, right now you need to discover the location of Smither's head and headquarters within the shed. What's the fastest way to do so? Go inside, posing as a customer, and try to discreetly get some intel. Break into the back and search the premises without being seen. Burst in, power blazing, demanding to see Smither. Now, I got some good power, and I got health, and I got some money. So right now, the smartest thing to do would probably be to sneak in the back, no? You drop down the alley behind Shed and walk up to the back door. Using an energy crackle to pop the door open, you slip inside and find yourself in a darkened room. As your eyes adjust, you spot a deep red light coming from somewhere across the room. You look at the light, and suddenly one step follows another. Fuzz. Feels nice. Moving back, back, back. There stands Madame Vice. So pretty, you think. So pretty, with the blood-red eyes. So tell me, rude thing, she says, her voice oozing. What on earth brings you to my dark corner of the world? You want to tell her everything, with her flowing auburn hair, wrapped in that tight red leather. My man is horny. Her body impossibly curved with plastic enhancements. Yikes! Her perfect chest spilling out of that corset. Her full lips wet. That is creepy. Even for me to say that, that was creepy. I don't mind doing things for a role, but like... I mean, if it's a role, I'll say whatever need be, of course, but... you know what? We're full sending it. You want to trust her more than anything else. You want to touch. You want to tell. She's so pretty. Just tell. I'm here to... But the words leave your lip. As the words leave your lips, one thought breaks through the rest. Madame Vice has hypno-seduction powers, which must be why you can't seem to think straight. No, there's another reason you can't think straight, sir. As you feel the slightest bit of control creep back, you decide that you better not waste the opportunity. How are you going to handle Madame Vice? Tip her out about the police or attack her while I have the chance? Okay, now... let me just go over here, because I feel like she's going to be an important character. I feel like tipping her off about the police might be the better move, because I don't want to piss her off and have that bite me in the butt later. And I can't risk using too much of my power yet. You want to get out of here. You'll want to get out of here, you say with real concern. Very soon. Why would I do such a silly thing? Why would I do such a silly thing? Madame Vice purrs, causing your head to feel woozy again. Concentrate. Concentrate! Because the police will be here any minute to retrieve the gravitas. You manage. Don't go down with the ship, madam. No more smile. Angry Vice. Eyes bore. Not good. Not good. Bad. You want Vice to like you. Love you. What the fuck? What will Vice hurt you? Suddenly something snaps. You can feel your thoughts return to normal. You see Madame Vice crosses the dark room and opens a safe in the counter. Well then, I think it's a lovely time for a stroll around the block, isn't it? Madame Vice says, approaching you. She grabs your hand. Her touch feels better than anything you've ever felt. Oh, that's so weird. Be a dear and don't forget you saw me. And do forget, yikes. And do forget you saw me. Yes? Your heart flutters, you blink, overwhelmed with desire. Oh, that's so weird. Okay. Alright, I ain't got nothing, don't worry. I ain't used to talking this long, so my voice is a bit parched. My throat, I should say, is a bit parched. A moment later, you open your eyes to find that Madame Vice is nowhere to be found. You feel a cold rush of emptiness wash over you, but try to force the feelings away by telling yourself that it's only the after effects of Madame Vice's hypno-seduction. And then you realize it's just something in your hand. A long red whip tipped with gold. Alright, we're fully sending the creepy thing, aren't we? You examine the gold tip of the whip and can't believe your eyes. The gold mechanism is the telelock, a wildly expensive and wildly illegal security measure that grants teleportation entrance to doorless rooms. The only way into Smithers' secret headquarters must be through one of the telelocks, which you imagine only his supplies generals carry. Since telelocks take the form of tokens unique to each owner and only respond with their brainwaves, it's useless to you without Madame Vice. However, there's one trick you might try. But before you give it a shot, You feel a tap on your shoulder. You raise your... You know, before that, I actually want to check. Is she a character? She was not. Okay, wow. Victon was even a character, and he was mentioned once. You raise your fists and spin around, freezing the moment you do. You instantly recognize the face smirking back at you. It belongs to Jury, another aspiring hero. He stands with his arms crossed, the wind from the open door flaring his black and white costume, which was made to look like a sleeker version of a judge's robes. Which makes total sense because Jury's real name is Aaron Victon. He's the son of Judge Victon, who is now better known as the long-standing mayor of Oh, he is the mayor now. Not a good thing. As the long-standing mayor of Millennia City, and the man who sentenced your parents to lifelong prison exile. Jury has the power to see through the eyes of any 12 nearby people at once, hence the codename. He's become a C-list hero, thanks mostly to his father's position. Anything Jury has gotten, he has bullied or bribed out of people, thanks to his last name, or charmed them with his good looks and social status. If you had the advantages Jury had, you'd already be MC's #1 hero, and you know it. Why is he so, like, mean all of a sudden? Like, occasionally, like, usually he's, like, pretty standard nice lad. Occasionally Sam is just, like, angry and mean. Like, Goggy in this case. You rarely are inclined to hate Jury for just about every reason under the sun, but you have to be careful not to give away your real identity. The last thing you want is the Victon family to know the connection between SkyDream, Sterling, and Dector identities. Well, you're new, aren't you? Jury says, looking you over head to toe like a piece of meat. What is with this creepy sexual stuff? What's your name, stud? I say as I make it creepier. Your skin crawls under Jury's gaze, and you force yourself not to consider what's running through his mind. Jury is a conventionally attractive blonde guy, so you're sure he does quite well for himself, and obviously Jury likes what he sees. But you're definitely not into guys. And even if you were, you wouldn't turn Jury with a 10-foot pole. Still, he doesn't seem to know that yet. How do you want to play this? I could flirt with him to get him to go away. Because I don't think being mean to him would really accomplish anything right now. So, I mean, it's bad, but, like, I couldn't manipulate this ass. No, because he could be he's looking at me like a piece of meat. He's not a nice person. And besides, his father isn't exactly a nice lad. I'm gonna flirt with him to get my way. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna do that just because it'll get me away from him. I'm SkyDream, you say, placing a hand on Jury's chest. I'm a big fan of yours and I'd love to talk sometime, but I've gotta get going. Ugh, damn, you know it was worth a shot, Mice. Yeah, about that, Jury says, blocking your path. You're cute and all, but you don't know how things work yet. I just got a call from Rexford Shells himself. The police told me they have a lead on the missing gravitas. He's a dear friend of my father's. You do know who Mayor Victon is, don't you? Jury gets close to you. Way closer than you'd like. His breath smells like stale beer, and you're pretty sure you can make out the beginnings of a cold sore on his lower lip. Okay, so I shouldn't have tried to be nice to him. Tell me what you know now, and I'll see it as a serious favor. And I'm the kind of guy you want to owe you, if you get my drift. Jury puts his hand on your hip. You pull away, trying desperately to keep your cool. And if I don't? You say through clenched teeth. Jury's slick smile fades. Then let's say that having the mayor of Millennia City as an enemy isn't a great thing for anyone aspiring to be a hero, is it? There's no way in hell you're backing down from this case, no matter what Jerry threatens you with. Still, you've got to find a way to get him off your tail. He could cause some serious trouble for you if he gets to the gravitas first. How do you want to deal with him? Seduce Jury and knock him out, or send Jury on the wrong trail with a false tip. Now, like, I'm not nice in either of these, but I guess this would be more useful for me, no? Listen, the police gave me a special tip. They said, damn it didn't work. Save your breath, Jury says. I know exactly where I'm going. I just need the amateurs to stay out of my way. Got it? I'm pretty sure it would have been the same either way, no matter what I picked. Oh well, you tried. Without wasting another second, you knee Jury hard in the gut and then crack an elbow across his face. That was not... Bro, I don't want to be that violent unless need be, and this man is just out here beating ass. I mean, hey, you know, it's funny, and, like, you know, it makes for a good laugh, but, like, just beating this man's ass. I mean, he's a bit of a buttface, but, like... Jury will definitely want to pay you back for this, but you look at him lying helplessly on the floor. You know it was totally worth it. I mean, fuck you, Jury, anyways, but... Okay, let's... Huh? How do you like me more after I beat your son's ass? And my power's running low. It won't be long before Jury wakes up, so you turn your attention back to the telelock, and you're one shot at accessing it. If you channel your energy power through electronics at just the right amount, it can jumpstart their functions. However, too much power fries the electronics. A talent that comes in handy for some situations, but not this one. Figuring it's worth a shot, you grab the golden tip at the end of the whip and close your eyes. You will allow a small wisp of energy to flow from your fingertips through the telelock, hoping it will coax it into cooperating. Then out of nowhere, you feel a massive surge build in your forearms. No! You shout loud, unable to stop the wave of green energy from bursting through your hands. When the light from the burst clears, you can see the charged remains of a whip in your... Damn it! And the golden telelock completely shorted out. Despite years of training, your powers can sometimes act unpredictably. Though this was a rather inappropriate time for the surge to flare up. What are you gonna do now? Before you can even... Whoa, what the fuck? Before you can even finish forming a thought, you feel your insides turn to fluid, then the room swirls around you and you stagger backwards. Then you scream. When things snap back into focus, you find that you're in the foyer of a sleek loft. You clap your hands over your mouth and slide against the nearest wall, hoping no one hears you. The telelock must have activated somehow, despite the energy overload. Perhaps it was because Madame Vice was nearby? Perhaps... How stupid are you? Whose man's is this? You hear a deep voice say, interrupting your thoughts. You peek your head around the wall of the foyer and see none other than Smithers sitting on a large metal throne, staring at something across the room. He wears tight black clothes, his bulging muscles covered in veins and bluish scars by the product of gene splicing ultra steroids. His face is equally scarred, scattered with stab and gunshot wounds. The effect makes him look considerably less even. You can't help it. The sight of Smithers sends a chill up your spine. You try to ignore it as you spot the large silver staff in Smithers' hands covered in gemstones the size of baseballs. That must be it. That's the gravitas. You almost squeal because you've done it. You found the damn thing. You start to scroll through the ways that you're going to spend that reward money, knowing that now all you need to do is get your hands on the gravitas. That is, until your eyes settle on the 10 armed guards flanking Smither. Next to them stand 3 menacing figures you recognize as Slice's generals. One of them is 10 feet tall and made of stone. Note that must be Security General
Security General Boulder. Another is with elongated plastic fingers ignited by yeesh. That's Ace's High. That's the owner of Ace's High Casino, third degree. Now that's a pretty cool hero name, not gonna lie. The last one has sharp knives growing out of every joint of her body. That must be Fracture, the drug queen. Crane, the drug queen. You swallow hard, and not a fear balling up in your stomach. You would probably have a hard time taking on just one of those criminals, let alone all of them combined. Suddenly, the gravitas seemed like an afterthought. How are you even gonna get out of here alive? With that in mind, you begin considering your power levels. I'm not gonna make an over 9,000 joke, even though it's very tempting. If you're going to survive this battle, you'd better make sure you're properly equipped to do so. Luckily, your energy power allows you to recharge your levels. You can recharge your power, but it drains a proportionate amount of your health. Likewise, you can heal yourself, but it drains your power. Your current power level is 36, and your health level is 110. You feel strong, but that could just be all the adrenaline rushing through you. If you know that either of your levels drops to 0, you'll die instantly. So you think, yeah, I should probably recharge my power. I can manage to lose a little bit of health by 20. Gritting your teeth, you begin to siphon health energy from your body. Power level's 83, health level's not. I'm perfectly fine with that. I probably could have even got to 90, because I'm okay with 80 health and 93 power, but whatever. Ready to act, you tense all your muscles, hoping you have enough power and health to survive the night. That's when you realize Smither and his mob all have weapons locked on something across the room. A young woman. She wears a bodysuit made of black Kevlar. What is with this writer and their oddly... I wouldn't say oddly, but their promiscuous clothing. Promiscuous, yeah, that's the word we'll use, with one thick red stripe running up the center. Where the bodysuit ends, the red stripe continues to cover her face, showing only her deep burgundy lips, crystal blue eyes, long dark hair. She looks like a statuesque, like one of those genetically enhanced Victoria's Secret angels. Huh? Oh, models. I was like, huh? What is with this man is Slugger? Slugger, you think? Another hero's beat you to the punch. And she must be even more insane than you are, considering she's unarmed, staring down the supply circle. You went through great lengths to find the base of my operations. That's definitely not how a mob boss talks, but we'll roll with it. Smither says, gesturing towards a large hole in the floor next to the Kevlar girl. A sight that causes you to lose your breath. You realize you have no idea how far the telelock is taking you or how to get back outside. You snap out of it instead and continues. What are you here for? Nah, how do I want to make deep voice? What are you here for? You look back to the Kevlar girl, remembering that Smither has the power to elect a truthful response from anybody he asks a direct question. A very handy gift for a powered mob boss. That's why he hadn't killed the Kevlar girl yet. Smither wants to know how and why she's here first. I'm here, she says, soft but barely audible, to kill you. Suddenly, Kevlar Girl produces two massive cannon guns and fires thick surges of laser energy into the heart of the circle. Within seconds, 4 guards and third degree are crushed to ash right before your eyes. Your stomach turns and you realize it smells like a summer barbecue. Jesus! A deafening roar erupts as the guards return fire. Fracture whips dozens of razor-sharp blades at the Kevlar Girl, while Boulder moves to protect Smither from the fray. Smither shouts something at Boulder while waving at the gravitas. You can't make the words over the gunshots. You quickly generate a protective energy shield, terrified of catching the brunt of stray attacks. Looking through the greenish energy barrier, you snap your eyes at the Kevlar Girl. She leaps in the air and does a series of flips, her movements creating a visible trail that blocks the barrage of bullets and knives. She must be able to generate some kind of flash shield with her movements. Kevlar Girl then lands and sends off another round of cannon pulses. You look back into Smither's corner. You can see the last blast took another half of the guards and left a large nasty burn on Boulder's back. You can hardly believe your eyes. This woman just killed close to a dozen people in a matter of seconds. An intense rush of dread takes over you. This is a bloodbath. You didn't sign up for this today. You don't want to die today. But just as these thoughts appear, you force them from your brain. You've been training your entire life for this. So what are you gonna do? Jump in right away and stop the killing. It doesn't matter who gets the gravitas. Saving lives is more important than anything. My only concern is the gravitas. I make a grab for it and I go. Wait for them all to kill each other, then take the gravitas by surprise from whoever's left standing. Stay put and wait for the... Okay, pussy. I don't mean to use that as a derogatory term, but like... If I just wait for the police, then everything will be okay. No, you're the hero. Save people yourself. Please don't take this as endorsement of me saying not to listen to the police and do vigilantism. This is a story in a game. Please don't. Look, in real life, if things are looking bad, call the police. They're trained professionals. Please call them. I'm just doing this because it makes for a way more fun time. And that's because I won't die in real life if I die here. Hopefully. And just, yeah, stay safe. Stay safe, man. You're a hero, and heroes save lives. Period. Without a second thought, you shoot forward into a blur right at Kevlar Girl before she can see you coming. You crash into her and grab hold of her waist, keenly aware of the bullets ricocheting around you. You canvass the room and find a small window in the far corner. You have no idea where it'll lead. You're just thankful this room has an exit. With a thundering clash, you use Kevlar Girl as a battering ram to smash through the glass. Ignoring her scream, she doesn't deserve delicate treatment after murdering everybody in sight. When she's out of the window, you find yourself 5 stories up. The headquarters must be hidden on Shed's top floor. Feeling yourself start to fatigue from the effort of carrying Kevlar Girl, you pull yourself to the nearest roof and drop her. She gracefully tumbles onto the roof in a tight ball, then flips to her feet. The moment she gains her footing, she reproduces the massive cannon guns, which you could have sworn she dropped when you tackled her inside, and trains them directly at you. You begin to swerve and dodge. She's not playing around. If one of those blasts were to hit you, you'd be burnt to a crisp. You don't have much time to decide what to do next. She tosses a grenade at Shed. It looks like any grenade you've seen. It looks unlike any grenade you've seen before. Intricately coiled with tech and a cool blue core. You fly towards it. You turn to fly after the grenade as quickly as possible, knowing it will probably incinerate anybody who's left inside the headquarters, but you're not fast enough and the grenade drifts easily through the broken window. Seconds later, an intense flash of blue heat erupts, followed by a massive explosion that sends flames and debris in every direction. You scream as you feel the force of the explosion send you reeling. Actually, what does the menu do? Oh, I can change... Oh! What does that do? Okay, that was a nice little thing. Right after a big explosion. It takes several seconds for your head to stop ringing and your vision to clear. When they do, you find yourself on the street below. The blast sent you a couple blocks down, significantly lowering your health. That grenade was some seriously advanced technology. What on earth did that Kevlar Girl get her hands on something like that? Or how did she get her hands on something like that? You look up at Shed and see people flooding out the front door. As the top of the building rages with flames. Could it be that the Kevlar Girl had done the impossible? Did she just take out Smither and half the Spice Circle in one attack? Through the raging fire, you seem to make out the Kevlar... Oh, she has the thing. She has the gravitas. She must have gone back after the blast and sifted through the wreckage to recover it. No doubt protected by her shield and movements. You don't know whether to be horrified or impressed. The girl has some serious moxie. Still, you're not about to... Yeah! You're not about to let her escape. Not with the thing that's going to launch a career and after murdering all those people. You fly after Kevlar Girl, but as you reach the rooftop, you find that she isn't fleeing. She's pointing the gravitas directly at you. Before you can react, you feel the air around you twist with a sucking noise. You feel yourself being pulled downward. You try to fight it, but you can't force yourself from crashing onto the roof. It's like someone suddenly turned off your powers and a giant invisible hand crushing you down. The gravitas must control gravity. No wonder Smither wanted to get his hands on it. An object that powerful would be useful to anyone, let alone a mob boss with a strictly defensive power set. It feels nice, huh? That's definitely not the voice we're going with for her, but that's what we got for now. But you don't have have the patience for snappy banter. You know this girl won't hesitate to kill you, so what are you gonna do? I'm gonna disarm her. I'm not gonna take a risk. Anti-gravity may affect your flight power, but not your energy power. Hell yeah. I don't like being super aggressive. I don't. But she will murder people, and I don't want people to die. Anti-gravity may affect your flight power, but it won't affect your energy power. You let off a quick surge in Kevlar Girl's direction, unable to turn your head to see if you've hit her. But as you feel a weight pulling down on you, double, you realize you must have missed. Nice try, SkyDream, but you'll have to do better than that. I need to think of a better voice for her. You groan under the weight of the gravitas push, knowing the Kevlar Girl is about to kill you, just like all those Spice Circle members. As your ribs start to crack under the pressure, you hear police sounds blaring in the street below. You've never been so happy to hear that sound. Suddenly, you feel the weight lifted off your shoulders, and you spring to your feet. Just in time to see this. I thought my ribs were cracking. Just in time to see the Kevlar Girl strapping a layer of plastic explosives to the gravitas. Wait, what are you? You start moving forward, but Kevlar Girl just pulls away from you and holds the gravitas out in front of her body. The name is Prodigal, chicken, and you'll be seeing me again. Without another word, the girl named Prodigal drops the gravitas. Horrifying. Actually, hang on. She's not an important character either. Who are these three? Horrified as you watch the gravitas explode. I'm about to die. As you watch the gravitas explode at Prodigal's feet, a plume of silver smoke erupts into the sky of shattered gemstones as you go flying in every direction. You step back, covering your eyes to protect them from the explosion. When the smoke finally clears, you find that Prodigal had vanished. Only the gravitas remained in charred pieces, destroyed beyond repair. No! Why would she destroy the gravitas? Now it's of no use to anyone and it doesn't make any sense. Then another thought hits you. Before she left, Prodigal called you SkyDream. She knows your codename, but how? You've only been a hero for a few hours. How would she know? You hear the sound of police choppers swooping overhead, so you don't have much time to ponder this question. What are you going to do? I am getting the hell out of Dodge is what I'm doing. With a case this big ruined, and not to mention over a dozen murders involving this Spice Circle committed, no one in the MCPD is going to care whether you're innocent or not. The whole debacle is going to make the police look terrible, and they're going to want a scapegoat to pin it all on. And if you stay, that scapegoat will be you. Considering that Prodigal is gone, you're currently the only one standing next to a destroyed gravitas in a building full of dead mobsters. You fly toward home, your mind racing with questions. But what will happen to your reputation now that the gravitas is destroyed? Will the police blame everything on you? Will you become a fugitive? Then the thoughts spin completely out of control. Will jury and Madame Vice be gunning for you after what you did to them? Even worse, will the remnants of the Spice Circle be out for revenge? Who is this mysterious Prodigal girl who sabotaged your first mission, and why didn't she kill you when she had the chance? You're too exhausted to even begin to contemplate the answer to these questions. You push your powers to the limit, and have taken more than a few hits tonight. All you can think about right now is getting home to your bed, knowing that Grandma will help you sort it all out in the morning. It isn't long before you see your bedroom window waiting for you invitingly. Thinking you might collapse before you can reach it, you give one final push to land inside. All you want to do is get in bed immediately, but you do need to let Grandma know that you're alright. Your muscles aching. You move slowly towards the door. Gran, it's me! I'm alright, but I'm... Oh, well look who it is, you hear a familiar voice say, stopping you in your tracks. Sitting in the living room is no one other than... What? Why is he in my living room? Sir! Okay, well I think I'm gonna leave episode 1 here. I did not expect the game to be this long, in all honesty. I'm 2 hours in, and I am having a blast reading out these lines. It's honestly a lot of fun. Even though I know I'm butchering a few words here and there, it's genuinely a fun time. And thank you to anybody who stuck around to listen to all this. It probably just sounded like one guy rambling for a while. Um, but regardless, I really do hope you enjoyed. This is the first video of many to come on the SkyDream channel. I'm gonna hope to be consistent with uploads once or maybe twice a week, depending on how things go. You know, with all this craziness happening. But hey, maybe I'll give you something to do during quarantine. I know things are uncertain right now, but stay safe, everyone. If you're just staying at home, just moving from one day to the next, then you're doing your part, and you're doing good. Thank you to everybody who's even just tuned in and just watched for a few minutes before leaving this 2 hour montage of me talking. It means a lot, genuinely. Please stay safe and take care of yourselves. Next time, we will be continuing this. And maybe we'll find out who Prodegy is and why Mayor Victon's in my living room, yeah? It means a lot to me. Thank you, everyone. SkyDream, out.